Hey everybody, Peach here, and today we are going to cover the Ritfit M1 multifunctional rack version 2.0 right over here. So a few months back, I did review the M1 version 1.0, which is right here, and in that video I did identify a few shortfalls in the design. So today we're going to cover all the upgrades that they've made, as well as a few items that I wish they would have included in this upgrade. Now, bottom line up front, this rack was awesome, and now it's even better, okay? It is not perfect, but I think for what you're paying for, this is an extremely good buy. Now, if you don't know anything about the M1 rack, it is a 2x2 14 gauge steel rack with 1-inch holes, which provides a half rack for benching and squatting, with J-hooks, which have a 575-pound capacity, and spotter arms, which have a 575-pound capacity. It also has a Smith machine with a 33-pound barbell. It has dip bars. It has a lat pull down, a low row, a 360-degree landmine, and a multi-grip pull-up bar, band pegs, plate storage, barbell storage, attachment storage, and a 2-to-1 ratio integrated functional trainer with a cable travel of 122 whopping inches. Now, as far as the dimensions, I believe that they're identical between the 1.0 and the 2.0 by measurement. So the rack is 85.3 inches tall, 68.1 inches deep, and the Smith machine barbell is 79.1 inches long. Now let's cover the improvements that the version 2.0 delivers and a few features that they could still work on. But full disclosure, let me get this out of the way. Yes, they did send me the rack for free in exchange for the review, and they're compensating me for my time, but I'm still going to give a 100% honest review. All right, upgrade number one, the pulley. So in the version 1.0, we have nylon pulleys. And I gotta be honest, it's pretty dang smooth as is, especially for a rack in this price point. But what they did do is they upgraded to aluminum pulleys, making it even smoother than before. All right, upgrade number two. So at the end of the cable on the version 1.0, there was a rubber ball with a metal cone. This metal cone protected the rubber ball from being destroyed by the metal pulley housing. Now, what's the issue there? Well, you're gonna have metal-to-metal contact now, which is gonna eventually lead to corrosion. So, what did they do on the 2.0? Let's go look. So on the 2.0 version, now they have a nylon stopper. So, much more durable than a rubber ball and no more metal-to-metal contact. All right, upgrade number three, the handles. So they had these plastic handles with this flared design and these little bumps. But of course, I prefer just straight knurled metal handles, which is exactly what the 2.0 offers. Okay, knurled metal handles. Beautiful. All right, next upgrade. We can now mount barbells to the rear of the M1. This is the rear of the 2.0, and you can see there's now a mount that holds 3 separate barbells, just like so. Okay, the only thing I'd change about it is, right now it's just metal-to-metal contact. There's no plastic lining, so I'd like to see that improve, but other than that, this is a welcome addition. All right, next upgrade, rear-mounted plate storage. So on the 1.0, these weight horns were just bolted onto the uprights, whereas with these, they're a quick-release design. Okay, so they can just be popped on or popped off. And they're angled upwards to prevent the plates from ever slipping off the weight horns. And finally, the spacing is better, because on the 1.0, there was actually a conflict here for 450 millimeter plates. So right here on the 1.0, we have a nice gap between these plates. Here, there's overlap. So that's annoying, because if you want to get to this plate, you have to take this plate off first. But over here on the 2.0, we have a nice gap between all the plates on these weight horns. All right, next upgrade. So on the 1.0, this foot bar, which is used to weigh yourself down for lat pull downs, but also to press your feet against for low rows. It could also be used to hold your feet for sit-ups. Lots of uses for this. But the issue was it would fold up on you and pull forward when you don't want it to. So on this version, on the 2.0, they added a pinhole to both sides, depending on which side you mount it on, and it keeps it locked in place. Okay, so they give you this to run it through that hole to lock it down. Just like so. Okay, and now it won't move out of place. All right, next upgrade. They've increased the distance between the Smith machine and this trolley so that there's never any interference between 450 millimeter plates here and 450 millimeter plates here. There's always going to be a nice gap so that you never have to remove plates from one to use the other. All right, next upgrade. So with the 1.0, these spotter arms were only 12 inches from right here to the tip. But now they've added an extra 4 inches to the spotter arms to increase safety. All right, next upgrade, the pull-up bar. It was only 25 millimeters thick, and as a result, it dug into your hands and it wasn't all that comfortable. So what did they do? Well, they made it thicker, and now it is 28 millimeters. They also did this arching here. So now it's 3 inches taller. So the old one was 80.5 inches, and that might mean you have to bend your knees when you're doing pull-ups or not, but now they added 3 more inches, so now it is 83.5 inches from the top here down to the ground. All right, now let's talk about the attachments. So we already covered the spotter arms and the knurled handles, so we won't cover those again, but I do want to cover all the rest of the attachments. So with the 2.0, you also get 4 of these guys. So these are barbell clips to keep the plates on your barbell, and they have rubber handles. Now it's an upgrade in that you got nothing with the 1.0 version, and you get 4 of these with the 2.0 version. Having said that, I don't really like these. I much prefer these when I'm using a barbell, and these are also from Ritfit, but they're not included, so you have to buy them separately. Link down below to purchase. Okay, the other things that are included are the J-cups, so you get 2 of these. There's no change between the 1.0 and the 2.0. It's identical, so still a 575 pound capacity, and there's nothing wrong with them, so they didn't do anything, right? Same thing with the 360-degree line mount. There's nothing wrong with it, so they made no changes. With regard to these, also no changes. So T-bar row handle, straight bar, and a lat pull-down bar. Now these 3 things in particular, they're kind of cheap, but it's something to get you started right out of the box, and you can upgrade by yourself when you're ready. So having said all that, to get the most out of your functional trainer, I do recommend getting this 4-pack of attachments. Okay, so you get a V-bar, okay, for blowing up those triceps. You get a rope attachment, and you get this guy right here for low rows, and you get a straight bar. And all these have rotating connection points, so they're not fixed position, okay? So these are premium, also from Ritfit, link down below to purchase. So that's it with the attachments, except for the dip bars. Now the dip bars also did not change, but they should have. Let's talk about it. So this is what the dip handles look like, and they are identical between the 1.0 version and the 2.0 version. Here's the issue. When you're mounting them to your front uprights, there's a 24.5 inch gap between the 2 handles. And in my opinion, that's just too dang wide for most people, okay? Especially if you have shoulder issues. Now, on the 1.0 version, there was a hack to deal with this. We could instead mount them back here on the rear storage cross member because it's 34 inches from the ground. And you can tailor the width to be more comfortable for yourself. Okay? Now, we can't do that over here in the 2.0 because they lowered that rear storage cross member by 6 inches. Okay, and 28.5 inches is not sufficient for most people to do dips. Furthermore, there's more stuff to move out of the way now that we have a barbell hanging back there. So the easiest thing for Ritfit to do is make dip bar handles that are longer so that we can always just dip off the front uprights. Now, another improvement I would like to have seen made is something I didn't catch when I published the 1.0 review. I discovered this issue right after I published it, and that is I'm constantly banging my head on the barbell, on the Smith machine barbell, because it is 67.25 inches from the bottom of the barbell down to the floor. So if you're shorter than that, you won't have this issue. For me, I'm 72 inches tall, so I'm constantly having to duck under, grab attachments, and then I'm hitting my head when I'm stepping back out. Now, the only other option is to set it super low, but then I'd be tripping over it. So if I could just set it all the way up, lock it right there, and then when I'm not using the Smith machine, it's out of the way. Now, my last critique of this upgrade is a minor one, but I'm going to mention it anyway. I absolutely love having these hooks back here to store your attachments. It makes your workout much more efficient. However, we actually lost a hook. There used to be 5 hooks back here, and now there's only 4. I wish there was more than 5, not less than 5. So what they did is they removed the center hook here because I think that they thought that there might be interference when you're storing your barbell back here with the attachments. But that's not the case, okay? There's plenty of room for a hook here with things hanging from there. So there's no interference. So I wish they would add the hooks back in and add more hooks. Now, other than that, those are my complaints. No deal breakers there. I think that Ritfit really knocked this upgrade out of the park, and this is one heck of a deal. All right, the Ritfit M1 Multifunctional Rack version 2.0. A great addition to any home gym. Now, for more details, be sure to visit designbuildlift.com. And when purchasing, do not pay full price. Check out the link down below to reveal my unique promo code to save you big money. All right, that does it for this episode, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next episode. So, be sure to subscribe to the channel to be alerted the moment the next episode drops.